You're not lazy. You're just really, really good at lying to yourself about tomorrow. Let me tell you something I wish someone had slapped me with years ago. You know that version of yourself you keep imagining? The disciplined one, the focused one, the one who finally has their life together? That person doesn't exist yet, and they never will, unless you're willing to become someone you currently wouldn't recognize. I spent 3 years of my life refreshing Instagram between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., watching people younger than me build businesses, get in shape, learn new skills, while I sat there with a bag of chips, telling myself I was researching. I had 17 different note apps filled with goals I was definitely going to start on Monday. I bought courses I never opened. I screenshot motivational quotes I never applied. I was in love with the idea of changing my life, but terrified of actually doing it. Because here's what nobody tells you. The hardest part isn't starting. It's admitting that you've been the problem the entire time. I remember the exact moment I realized I was wasting my life. It was a random Tuesday afternoon. I was scrolling through LinkedIn, seeing people I went to school with getting promoted, launching projects, speaking at conferences, and I felt this rage building inside me. Not at them, at myself. Because I knew I was just as capable. I knew I had ideas. I knew I had potential. But potential doesn't pay bills. Potential doesn't build anything. Potential is just a pretty word for wasted opportunity. That night, I made a list of every excuse I'd used in the past year. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I'm more ready. I'm not good enough yet. Nobody will care anyway. I filled 2 pages, 2 full pages of reasons why I couldn't do the thing I claimed I wanted to do. And then I asked myself the question that changed everything. What if I'm wrong about all of this? I didn't know it yet, but this was the moment my life split in 2. Here's what I did. I stopped trying to fix my entire life in one dramatic transformation. I stopped waiting for motivation to strike like lightning. I stopped planning the perfect routine. Instead, I made one promise: improve by 1%. Just 1. Not 10, not 50, 1. You know what 1% looks like? It's pathetic. It's embarrassing. It's reading for 10 minutes instead of scrolling. It's doing 5 push-ups before bed. It's writing 1 paragraph. It's sending 1 email. It's so small that your brain can't even argue with it. And that's exactly why it works. But let me be clear. This wasn't some magical overnight shift. The first 2 weeks, I felt like an idiot. I was doing these tiny actions that seemed to change nothing. My bank account looked the same. My body looked the same. My life looked the same. I wanted to quit every single day. And some days I did. I'd skip a day, feel guilty, then skip 3 more because I'd already ruined my streak. That decision haunted me until the day it saved me. Because here's what happened. Around week 3, something shifted. Not externally, internally. I stopped identifying as someone who tried things. I started identifying as someone who did things. The actions were still tiny, but my self-image was rebuilding. And once you change how you see yourself, everything changes. By month 2, those 1% improvements weren't small anymore. They'd compounded. I'd read 6 books. I'd written 30 pages. I'd worked out 40 times. I'd had conversations I'd been avoiding for months. None of it was impressive on its own, but together, it was a completely different life trajectory. The internet tells you to find your passion, or bet on yourself, or go all in. That's garbage advice for most people. You know what works? Becoming the kind of person who keeps boring promises to themselves. The kind who says, I'll do this small thing, and actually does it. Not for applause, not for likes, for self-respect. I wish someone warned me that discipline feels like punishment at first. It feels like you're restricting yourself while everyone else is living freely. But that's the trick. They're not free. They're trapped in the same cycle you were. Comfort today, regret tomorrow, repeat forever. Be honest with yourself right now. How many times did you promise yourself tomorrow this month? How many times did you choose scrolling over building? How many times did you say, "I'll start when," knowing full well that moment would never come? The truth is, you're scared. Not of failing, you're scared of actually succeeding and realizing you could have done this years ago. You're scared of confronting all that wasted time. So you stay comfortable, you stay distracted, you stay planning. Here's what I know now. Talent is overrated. Luck is overrated. What matters is whether you can show up on the days you don't feel like it, whether you can keep your word to yourself when nobody's watching, whether you can choose future you over current you over and over until it becomes automatic. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need ideal circumstances. You don't need more time, more money, or more confidence. You need to stop negotiating with yourself. You need to stop waiting for permission. You need to become someone who does the thing they said they'd do, even when, especially when, it's boring, uncomfortable, and unrewarded. What excuse are you hiding behind right now? Be specific. Name it. Because until you call it what it is, a choice to stay the same, nothing changes. The gap between who you are and who you want to be isn't crossed in one giant leap. It's crossed in 1,000 tiny steps that nobody sees, nobody celebrates, and nobody believes will matter. Until suddenly, they do. Until suddenly you look back and you're unrecognizable. Until suddenly you're the person other people make excuses about. How long are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment? It's never coming. The moment is right now, and 1% is enough to start.